This is an Adventures in Middle-earth actual play using Fantasy Grounds. You can find session summaries, items and characters on Obsidian Portal, or our campaign is called In the Shadows of the Mountains. You can cross-reference this episode as 2947 Third Age, Kinstrife and Grim Tidings, Episode 3. You'll find links to that and our other forms of media for our sessions, as well as an index of this episode in the description. Apologies as well, there seems to be a slight bit of echo on one person's mic, which we'll hopefully sort out next time. It doesn't happen a lot, but it might be slightly distracting. Previously on, the trail of the fugitive Beorning Oderic has led the party to the hamlet of Stonyford. After initial frosty reception, the Fellowship feasted with the locals, who imparted a number of rumours around the circumstances of the killing. It seems a skilled warrior may have fled west to the bandit-infested Wolfswood.
Okay, I'll fast forward to the morning. Yep. If you're thinking about heading back. So Ava, let's see what the weather's doing, shall we?
That's your favourite bit, John.
It is. I've got a weather generator. I'm dumb, but I'm not going to
use it.
Next day.
Just for role-playing purposes, Hathis will stay up with a pipe for long bottom leaf and sit there wrapped in contemplation, scratching his dog's head and just thinking about it all. Won't come to any massive conclusions, but that's what he would do. He'd ponder it into the small hours.
The rain definitely slows down in the morning. It's still raining, but it's lighter. You actually hear some birds. It's still raining. A little bit of rain. There's still some birds chirping, and they're kind of shaking their feathers and coming out. And as you're putting the fire out after cooking some basic breakfast, you're still pretty full from the venison you ate last night, but you see Ava coming over towards you. Hello, group. What's afoot this morning? No, she wouldn't be speaking that accent, but I'm not good with accents.
We're going to have to leave you. Have to carry on the trail of your fugitive.
It's a very tangled web. I think Beorn may be able to unpick it. We need to find Oderic.
Yeah. Okay, understood.
We think he may have gone west. If he did, is there anywhere to go to the west of the river?
Yeah, so she kind of tells you, she knows it well. Well, it's wild out there. Wolfswood, maybe? Dangerous place. Could be wolves, bandits in there. Further south, there is swampy.
A bunch of fishers and
no one will follow him in there if he's trying to escape. North gets more populous, especially as you get up to the forest road. That's well travelled. So I don't know. He may have gone there, maybe trying to blend in.
And can he survive well enough out in these wilds? Do you think is he enough of a hunter and enough of a outdoorsman?
Oh yeah.
I know he's good with a sword, but
she looks quite proud. Yeah, we all are.
That's what we thought. Well, I have to thank you for your hospitality. Last night was most enjoyable, most helpful, and made us feel very welcome.
You're welcome, and good luck with your quest. Let us know what you find. It'd be nice to put everyone's minds at rest about what really happened, if you ever get into the Carrick.
We'll do our very best.
She wishes you well. You said you're heading west. Do you need transport across the river? She looks at you all. You don't look like swimmers to me.
That would be helpful. What do you think, people?
Well, yeah. What about Oderic? I mean, if he was going across there, is he going to be able to get hold of a boat, or is there a ford nearby?
She clicks her fingers and says, "Oh yeah,
here we go.
The toilers. They had a boat stolen 2 or 3 nights ago.
Okay.
Could have gone across on that."
Brilliant. And
thanks
can you tell us
thanks for reminding me.
And can she tell us whereabouts?
Time. Is there anything else that possibly?
Sorry, but Moni, go on.
Yeah, no. Can she tell us whereabouts the people had their the toilers had their boats stolen from?
Yeah, so they're one of the people who are fishermen, and she points you down to, there's only one wharf there, and there's about 6 boats bobbing there. There's clearly space for a few more. People are obviously out on the river already, and you see a couple of ladies working on nets under an awning on the bank next to it as well.
Let's go and find out about this missing boat. Maybe they saw something. Maybe they heard something. When was it gone? Have they found it since?
Aye.
Okay. So you go across there, and the couple of ladies looks up and says, "Oh, hello there." They kind of smile up at you. And what are you off to today?
Were these people that were at the do last night?
Yeah. So the women were sitting around.
That's fine.
One of the women was sitting with Amalfrida. The other woman looks like a friend.
All. Yeah, ice is broken rather than anything else, so we don't have to explain what we're doing. All that. Okay. We hear you had a boat stolen 2 or 3 days ago. Can you tell us any more about that? And have you found it?
Yes, the woman you don't know, or Amalfrida didn't really talk to. You didn't really get to talk to her last night. So looks up and said,
so, they know who we are, and
she looks a right old busybody, and she kind of says, "I did. Me and my husband, our boat was took. Never got it back. That's why I'm mending these darn nets. We're going to be penniless if we don't get that boat back soon."
And do you know when it went missing?
Oh, 3 days ago. There at night. My husband's a great knot smith. He tied the safest knots on the river. Couldn't have come loose. Gone in the morning, though. And the oars. Spelled OARS.
Couple of oars. I mean, we have worked. That's a mysterious thing. So
if you find it, though, and there will be no one, unless they know the river well, rowing upstream from here, but if you find it, you bring it back to me, right?
Of course, it's your boat.
She goes into great detail describing it into the nth degree, of which you tune most of it out. It basically sounds like a rowing boat.
Yeah, is it red, blue, or wood coloured?
Yeah, you make a few cursory notes in a book, and
just to keep it happy.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, now we need to get across the river. Is there anyone we could ask to row us across?
There is indeed, and so the other woman who was talking to Amalfrida says, "I'll go and get my Jack. He'll row you across." And she leaves. 5-10 minutes later, comes back with a guy rubbing sleep out of his eyes. Still only about 8-9 in the morning, and he says, "My love says you want to go across the river. That's okay. Oh bugger, you got a pony." He comes back after 5 minutes, gets another guy who's got a bigger boat, and they, after some discussion, work out that they can get you all across in the 2 boats. You have to hobble the horse, so they're not that keen to get a horse across, but you manage to persuade them. And 30-40 minutes later, you're setting off across stream. Currents, it's a big river. It takes like 20 minutes to row across. Current takes you quite a way downstream. It's fairly fast flowing, so you're not experts, but looking at how fast the current's going, very, very difficult to row upstream. So you probably end up about a mile downstream. They let you off. You get off, disembark easily, and you kind of start climbing the bank the other side, which is pretty easy going. And you see them actually pulling the boats on long lengths of rope tenders going upstream. It's clear that they need to go a couple of miles up to get back across the river.
Well, thank them most profusely, because that is kind of them. That saved us an effort. So chances are, I would guess, Oderic hasn't rowed upstream from here. He's probably gone. He could go a long way quite quickly, couldn't he? That current.
Yeah.
It'd be great to find that boat, because that will show us where he's crossed to. So my default will probably be to walk down the riverbank until we find the boat, if we can, or find any tracks. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. So see how far we can get up a bit, and then just keep a good eye out, because he'll have to drag the boat up. Might have tried to hide it. Depends, really.
Yeah.
So where will be your main destination? You've got a couple of most obvious ones, basically west and south of the village. But where are you planning to head?
I guess I would, if it were me, I'd probably go south down the river looking for a boat.
Yeah.
If at some point we have to knock that on the head, I guess the scale of map. Hang on, I could do that by mood, couldn't I? Okay, 50 miles, bloody hell. We either time out and go across to Wolf, woods or whatever it's called, or we keep going till we hit them. And obviously, as soon as we find the boat, we sort of react to that, and the plan changes. If we don't find the boat at all and no sign of him, do we peel off for the Wolfswood, or do we keep going to the marshes and see if the fish have seen or heard anything go by?
Well, the good thing is, if you're physically tracking someone, the ground is soft. It's been raining a lot, so there would be obvious prints. It's just you don't know where those.
Yeah, we need to latch onto that, and if we latch onto it, then we stick with it. We need to find it first. So we cut across, going down the siblings' boat. See some footprints, etc., and find a passage, and ask anyone we meet, have you seen this man?
Okay, so broadly speaking, track the river, looking for a boat over a period of time. Were you aiming for eventually the Wolfswood or the marshes, the Gladden Fields? What area are you heading for? Or just depending on what you see?
Yeah, I'm thinking, as Chris is saying, maybe just keep on heading south along the west bank of the river, looking for anything, any tracks, any boat markings at the actual boat itself, and maybe go down as far as the fishing huts on stilts in that marshy area, just above that island by the East Andean Vales label on the map.
Yeah, makes sense.
East
All right.
Vales. Yep.
Okay, good stuff. So, who is your scout? I think it was you.
Sigmar.
I've got notes. It was Sigmar, not scout. Sorry. Journey task. Who is your guide?
Hathis is the guide.
Okay, so give me an embarkation roll, which is a D12. So add half your wisdom modifier, and
so that's
your survival modifier.
2.
So survival plus half your wisdom.
So this plus 2, on a D12.
Yeah, hang on a sec. And there is because it's fairly wild area going into, is a peril rating of 2, so subtract 2 from that. So you need to actually basically adjust all of that and write it in the modifier box bottom left before you roll the dice.
Well, so survival. Half my wisdom is +2. The peril rating is -2, so they just evaporate. So my survival bonus is +6, and it's just on a +6 on a D12.
Yeah, so just add 6 in the modifier box. Just write 6 in there, and then roll the D12.
Ding!
Okay.
Happens. Well, you find him bobbing in the water with a boat and a.
You get this.
12 orcs.
Okay, so that's given me a modifier to. Okay, that's good. After about half a day, maybe less than that, 2-3 hours, Sigmar, give me a scouting, either perception or survival check, or investigation. You're clearly looking, but you're the lead scout here, so that's your task, really.
Survival and investigation. Oh, yes.
Sigmar's picking his nose and is actually looking inland too far. Who else have you got?
He's looking into the middle distance, pondering all the things with his
potential
success.
Monin and Hathis give me... No, Amalfried is looking out for food, really. So Monin and Hathis, give me your best check at... Because you're not really focused on this, but at -2. Either one of those again. So perception, survival, or investigation at -2 to see if you spot anything.
Perception +4, survival +6.
Do this in the tower, actually. I should have asked Neil to do that in the tower as well.
So -2, yeah?
Yeah.
Investigation. Whee.
Okay. Monin, you, surprisingly, given your perception, but you do come across a boat.
That's my 4-master.
Just fall into it.
It's less of a boat. It's a 200-foot-long super yacht. It's a small coracle. It's exactly as the woman described, and it's several miles downstream, probably 4 or 5 miles downstream. So we went a bit of a way from where he crossed, not just from the current. It was fairly easy to see, and there is a set of footprints going kind of southwestish from the boat. It was fairly well hidden, which is probably why Sigmar didn't spot it, but he didn't like sink it or anything, so it was not that well thought through about what happens if someone finds it.
Well, we have promised to let them know, so let's drop her an email, tell her where it can be found. She can come and collect it, and we'll crack on.
Okay. So you're heading back up to inform her, yeah? That would take about the rest of the day.
No. Did you say by email?
Sure? Okay.
No, let's follow the path, follow the trail.
All right. Now, if we do meet Oderic, and he resists coming with us or won't want to come with us, and we don't really want to fight him, can we make up some kind of excuse about Brunhild to make him actually want to go back to see her? I don't know what we can say, but you can maybe think about something now.
Lie.
She's sick or something.
Oh, are you going to disobey Bjorn's express instructions?
No, this is just to get him to come with and trust us. Then we'll smack him on the head, truss him up like a turkey, and take him back up. We just don't want to get a fight with a super trained expert swordsman called Inigo Montoya, who has practiced all his life.
Exactly.
Cool.
All right, so you actually find the trail relatively easy to follow. It's wet and damp. He wasn't making much effort to hide. As you set off, you get... Let me just see this.
We could come up with a cover story that maybe we're hunting bandits. Wasn't his parents killed by bandits? Maybe we can say that bandits killed one of our band and we're looking for vengeance. Would he like to join us? And then when he falls asleep, we can truss him up.
Might be a aforementioned turkey, yeah. Or we say something like, Brunhilde and Helmgutter are fighting every night now and she's getting more miserable.
I might want Les to come with us, though, I'm just thinking, because he won't be able to protect her.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Right, so you're tracking, but you will get... Some things may well happen during your track towards the woods. And it seems to be heading... you can see the low-lying ground is rising in the distance and it's heavily wooded, and you're assuming that's where the Wolfwoods are. So you get this at +2 from your embarkation roll, which is good. So Amalfrida, after a day, spots signs of a track left by some sort of game, likely far better than your dried rations that you're travelling with. You've got enough food, but your mouth waters at the prospect of decent meat. What do you want to do? Do you want to try and hunt it, or do you want to just carry on your goal?
Hunt it, I think. Yeah,
decent food would make a change from the... Sure, we'll make short work of it.
Okay, give me a... Sorry, this doesn't... Sorry, this is really funny. You see some signs of tracks, and then the next bullet point is you spot a huge silver salmon. How they're leaving tracks. So you find a very tributary to the Anduin where it looks like there was salmon spawning, and there is salmon leaping up this rocky face. So give me a survival check. I think Amalfrida's a hunter, Neil, for her, and let me know. Do that in the tower.
Sorry, which?
Oh no, do it in the open. This is a survival check to see if you can catch a salmon.
For Amalfrida.
This is for Amalfrida. Nicely done. So you quite confidently and quite patiently wade out into the shallows on this rocky area where the fish are leaping and stay very still for a period of time. So after 5-10 minutes or so, they start spawning past you again. And within no time, you manage to almost catch one of these wriggly bastards out of the air and throw it onto the bank. It's big. It's kind of a 2-foot salmon, and you're going to eat very well tonight. So well done. During that day, I don't think any of you have exhaustion because you rolled well on the embarkation. But if you did, that would be removed. But you are going to get a bonus on your arrival roll from that. Your spirits are buoyed, and you have beautiful fresh salmon for dinner. All right, last one. No, not yet. So next day you travel after bellies full of salmon, following this trail again. For Sigmar, give me another either perception, survival, or investigation check as you're searching for more clues. Nice, okay. Very close to where you camped, strangely, probably only half a mile away, you come across signs of a camp. It's between the river and the wood, probably still 20-25 miles from the edge of the wood. And you find a broken shards of what look like a Beorning knife, Amalfrida tells you. in a sheltered dell where this campfire ashes are kind of drenched and wet, but it's kind of next to those.
Should we take the shards discreetly with us?
Well, there's a whole knife broken, or is it just part of the blade?
So it looks like the bottom 80% of a knife blade is snapped, and then it looked quite probably, knowing this, it looked like maybe there was a defect in the iron or the steel, and it's snapped and then shattered along its lengthwise, so it's in 2 or 3 shards, but they've just been discarded.
Okay.
Beside this whole fire.
Can we
no signs of blood or anything like that. So, but it is a Beorning
weapon. Yeah, was the murder weapon ever recovered?
It was, yeah.
It was. Okay, so it's not like he's finally he can't stand the sight of the knife that killed this chap and then smashed it and discarded it. Okay, in which case we don't need to take it with us, I guess.
It's a Beorning knife, you know that. But yeah, up to you if you want to take it. But yeah.
No, it's just it just confirms it. No, leave it. It just confirms it's the Beorning, I guess, that they're stilty fishermen.
Okay.
So we found a campsite. So maybe, does it look like a permanent base or just a temporary, I've stopped here and then cracked on the next morning?
Oh, not permanent at all. It was like your cabin.
So we can just keep following the tracks then?
Yep, absolutely.
In the general direction, does it look like it's heading towards the wood?
Very, very much so, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just keep following then, I guess.
Okay, so as you're setting off on the third morning, you crest a rise and just look back over your shoulder, and the sun is rising. It's a beautiful sunrise, and you just see the huge majesty of the Anduin just stretching before you. Deep, wide, and fast flowing. It's both invigorating and daunting. Everyone give me either a wisdom check or an intelligence investigation check, your choice, to really kind of see if you can mull over the beauty of the vista, to see how it affects you. Does it buoy your spirits or does it intimidate you, basically? Wow. So Monin Hathis, you're exhilarated by that. You see real positives in the strength of the river, and you get advantage on the next check you make. However, Sigmar, who rolled that,
falls to his knees, sobbing.
and Amalfrida, who rolled that, you rolled 2 ones, Neil. That was even by your standard, that was an absolute belt. You feel almost fearful of the power of that thing, and it must be when you looked at it, cloud passed over the sun, it looks dark and foreboding. So you, unfortunately, for your next roll each for a check, you're going to get -1. Rolls made a disadvantage.
Look at that lovely river, isn't it? Magnificent, isn't it?
Aye, amazing. Look at it.
The river
feels my bones, I tell you.
It's only a river.
I could just see corpses floating down into
yeah. River of blood.
All right. So you decide everyone's going to be very vigilantly searching for clues now. You're finding some. You're pretty sure you're on the right trail. Beornings don't typically come a lot as far as the river, away from the river. And as you you reckon tomorrow you'll be there, but it's late in the day. Everyone give me a perception check as you're searching, or survival, or investigation, depending on which is best. But you're all looking for it very carefully now. You're not hunting. You're not doing anything else.
So we are at advantage now because of the majesty of the river.
You are, and unfortunately, Sigmar and Amalfrida are at disadvantage.
I rolled twice. Give that a disadvantage.
So investigation. Okay. And this is in the tower.
Was it investigation, perception, or what?
Or survival.
Yeah, I could have done that. No, I'll keep investigating.
Strangely, Sigmar, who's like down in the dumps, and Hathis, who's kind of trying to buoy him up, you come across what looks like maybe signs of a fight. There is, you're kind of tracking the boot prints through a copse, nowhere near the woods yet. You're still about a day away from the wood, but it looks like there may have been some sort of sign of a fight here. Trampled grasses, splinters hewn from a shield, maybe. It's definitely painted bits of wood and splinters from that in the grass. And what gives it away is a broken spear haft. And it speaks of a battle between one warrior and probably several others, more than one. Give me, both of you, an intelligence investigation check.
This is Sigmar and who?
Hathis.
Sigmar and Hathis, yeah. So
Just tower or not tower?
Tower, and you're not at disadvantage anymore, Neil. Okay, Sigmar. Hathis completely disagrees with everything you're about to say. Sigmar says, look here, can you see this? Yes, I'm sure. There's drag marks here. He was brave, he put up a brave fight, but he was outnumbered and overwhelmed. Look, see that circle there where there's lots of footprints all in the same place? They must have been tying him up, I suspect, there. Looks like he was bound and then dragged, and they probably started carrying him from this point. He kind of walks about 5-10 yards, and the drag marks stop. And there is a clear trail leaning slightly askance of where his original one was going, but heading off towards the Wolfswood from there.
I disagree entirely. He clearly killed them all, hid the bodies, and now he's carrying on his merry way.
He dragged himself.
Him and his 5 pixie friends. Right. And he's probably been attacked by bandits. We need to rescue him to then hand him over to the authorities.
You spend the next probably most of the day travelling. It's pretty hard going. It's tough. There's boulders, rivulets are going through, and the land is fairly swampy as you're going more to the south. But you finally arrive near the eaves of the forest. Everyone just give me an investigation check in the tower as you kind of look around the edge of the forest to kind of get any more clues. So Monin and Sigmar, you, strangely not Hathis, but you spot some clear signs of life around the woods. Tracks in the mud. Trees have obviously been hacked down for firewood, and sort of smaller branches left, the larger ones dragged deeper into the wood. And you strangely sort of recognize that you haven't really seen any new game in the last several miles. Yeah, so that's kind of what you gauge. But there is definitely a population, or maybe a small one, who are in and out of these edge of the woods on the eaves. So take of that what you will, but it's
Any of our various spider senses tingling, because I think we've got some forebodings, skills or abilities or something like that.
Yeah, you're right. Who has that?
All of us.
I think, yeah, most of us. I've got it. I think Hamilfrida has it.
No, I'm not. I'm not one of you doomed to die people.
Oh yeah, you're all convinced you're going to die, don't you? Yeah. So
the things I can usually tell whether all and it's don't know. Up to you.
Let me just read it again. Doomed to die. Start foreboding. Yeah, I mean, you get a sense that the footprints you saw are not orc. You don't get a sense that there is great evil in the woods, and they seem to be human. So you kind of don't get a massive sense of foreboding about going in here. You don't think this will be a lot if you end. Your life is going to end as you go into these woods, but like that.
That's positively upbeat for somebody who's been to die.
Absolutely.
Today is not the day. I like it.
It will be a red day. It won't be a red day today. So just kind of let me know what you want to do. It is kind of mid-afternoon. You're right at the edge of the forest at the moment.
So we may have been spotted already then, depending on what kind of setup they've got. Hopefully it's pretty amateurish and they haven't got guards and a watch out, but we may have been spotted already. They may come to us, so we just almost need to just work out a cover story of.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we're nasty piece to work us on the run from the law. But have we got anything on us which would give us away if they searched us? We haven't got like sheriff's badges and
no, nothing.
Orders and writs to.
No.
Yeah, we gave that to Bard, didn't we? Sorry, Beorning. We gave our stuff back.
I certainly don't have anything anyway.
Good. It would be a.
So, presumably one of the four of us can claim to be, or some of us can claim to be on the run, outlaws. Yeah,
so of anyone, Hathis is the least likely looking outlaw amongst you. So Sigmar, probably in rough order, Sigmar.
Yeah.
And then Hamilfrida. Monin is because all dwarves are wealthy, he's got the kind of arms and armour that bandits would kill for, quite literally.
Yes.
If they could wear it.
If it was big enough for them. And Hathis just doesn't look like a bandit.
Yeah.
How about Hathis is a disgraced merchant and he's hired some muscle to get him away from it, and we've come this way maybe to hang out with more.
Yeah, complicated embezzlement scheme where I was ripping off quite a lot of high-powered people in my town in Dale.
That could work.
Maybe one of us, like Neil, possibly is the kingpin. Maybe you're the accounts person, the bookkeeper.
I'm going to bring down Al Capone. I've got the ledgers. Or could we say we're thinking of doing a job and we want to hire some people from out of town?
Well,
You can do any and all of this.
We better decide on one of them.
Yeah, fairly quickly.
So the lie, hopefully, is something closer to the truth.
I'd rather we pretended that some of us are on the run rather than looking to hire, because that's going to say, well, who are you going to attack or rob, and where and when, and could create more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so outskirts of the wood, heading just straight towards the centre, roughly from where you're assuming the centre is.
Mm-hmm.
And what precautions are you taking?
Well, I guess we want them to find us. We don't want them to butcher us out of hand, although obviously
Why do you want them to find you?
I've got nice metal armor. I don't want them stripping me off. I'm thinking, if they've been clearing the wood here, does it look like there's any recent clearing of the wood? Like, how seasoned does the wood look?
Yeah, good question. So there is definitely paths going from some of the woodfall into the woods, and they seem to be fairly consistent. It looks like actually probably a team of oxen or something, maybe even dragged trees that way. So you would easily be able to follow that.
I think we've got a couple of things. Either just follow the tracks, or we could wait. And if we know they're going to come back here, now obviously I don't know how often they do this, but then we could then get an idea of what numbers. If we need to, we could take the people out within their numbers a little bit, get a bit of intelligence and see that kind of stuff, or just follow them and be super sneaky, which is obviously not going to be me.
If I can observe them, then I can give us some bonuses against them. One of my new abilities. I think I'd rather find them than them find us.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, how about even someone like Sigmar, who could even infiltrate them, and we could be laid up somewhere, and then at some opportune moment, once he figures out kind of their vulnerabilities, move in. Again, another thing to consider.
Infiltrating by myself sounds a bit risky.
Oh, it is. That's why I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that's why we volunteered you.
Oh, guys, I'll go tactical. You've got some decent plans. So you've been basically following this rough trail. It peaks out a little bit as it gets more stony, the ground, but you believe you're still heading in the right direction. You end up on this tactical map here. So when I'm just sharing it with you, it's going to take a little time to load, and you are right at the top right-hand corner. It's quite a large map, so you need to kind of scroll that direction.
Okay.
I think I've got it. By a bush.
You are by, in fact, that's a big tree. Yes, it's a fairly sparsely populated area of forest. You are heading roughly westish, southwest, something like that, potentially. That's where you're up to. I'm assuming you're walking fairly quietly. You're taking a few precautions here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The idea is not to be spotted if we can help it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What I'll do is if you encounter anything or basically hear anything, I will kind of flag it to you. I'm assuming you're kind of sneaking with probably Monin 30 feet behind you all, or the rest of you with because of his heavy armor.
Let's just decide on the cover story first in case we do meet somebody. So we're running away. What are we running from? Have we screwed up in a village or something?
Who did we say is sort of on the run? Is it Sigmar that we said? Maybe Sigmar tried to steal something and failed.
We're his companions, and so we're all outlaws now.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So what's the nearest village is Stonyford?
No, but Oderic knows that too well, doesn't he?
Yeah, how about we got a fight with some halflings in a newly done pub, because we know the people in that place, and we had a fight. Somebody's got hurt, somebody got stabbed or killed, and we've legged it south.
Yeah, okay. So we were drinking in the pub, and it all kicked off.
That old man Hather's just got a hell of a temper on him.
I didn't start it, but I sure as hell finished it.
Yeah, we've all been blamed for it, and that's why we're all having to run, and we'll always feel like we're aggrieved. But that's our new life now, as a life on the run.
Can't go back.
And because Hathis is a woodman, we thought we'd come out here, a nice secluded place, didn't expect to meet anybody else.
Okay, sounds good. So kind of move... Actually, what I'll do, to move yourself up to like normal, typical movement, and then I'll expand the view that you can see and just sort of move exactly where you want. I don't think the tokens are locked, so you're just kind of sneaking around.
I'm going to bow out.
Is Juan any good at, or Huon any good at scouting?
Not really on his own.
He's just like a pet. He's not like a bonded animal or anything.
Yes, but he's not really he's not a super scout in terms of find them boy, and he's not a sort of mountain rescue dog or a police dog.
No, but I'm just thinking that being a dog, if anybody sees him approaching, they're not going to be alarmed. Where a human, they would be.
I'm not getting confident signals from our scout.
So does he have a decent sense of smell?
Hang on a sec.
Yeah, he's advantage on perception ability checks relying on hearing and smell. So he's a really good scout. So you could send him. Can you control him? I know you can. You taught him some stuff about helping protect.
I think I'm sure to a degree, I don't think he hasn't really been trained for go and scout out and then come back. He might well notice something before we do because he's a dog and so he's got really keen senses. But I wouldn't want to send him too far on his own and then assume he will trot happily back and Lassie style let us know. But I would expect him to be, if someone hiding behind that tree near Monin, I would expect the dog to be aware of him. Near Animal Frida, I'd expect the dog to be aware of him because he would smell them so easily.
I mean, if you want to try and it'll be an animal handling check to get him to kind of do roughly what you want to do. It wouldn't be exactly what you want to do, but if you want him to go like 50, 100 feet ahead.
Yep. Okay.
Scenting, you can do that.
Yes, we'll try that then. I don't mind him going a bit ahead. Yeah, but I don't expect him to scout the whole forest and then come back and draw us a map.
Okay, so give me an animal handling check just to make sure he understands what you want him to do.
In the tower or in the open?
No, do it in the open. It'd be fun for other people to see how good you are at dog handling. So,
well, I've rolled a 3, but I got a 7. He's
well,
he's got. Oh well, I'll get another one when I'm in town.
So you can hear some snuffling and then a bark.
Oh, I think he's found someone. Oh, let's head that way just in case. Yeah, I'll start heading that way in case he's in a pickle because I am slightly concerned.
Okay.
If my bow's not strong, I'm making sure it's strong now and knock an arrow.
Yeah, I'll casually get my bow and arrow out at the same time.
So he's kind of going in like a bit of a. He looks like he's following a rabbit scent or something. He's kind of going around and then he runs in under a tree where he's.
Yeah,
cocks his leg up the tree and kind of stays there. He looks really pleased with himself. So.
He's found a tree. Good boy. Good boy. Come back here. I'll try and get him back towards me.
It'll turn out to be an ent.
Yeah.
give me another animal handling check to see if you can get him back.
Yeah. I've got Sigmar's diet. Oh shit.
6 this time.
Come back. I can't shout too loudly. We'll just alert the whole forest to our presence. As I say, he's not that well trained.
So, Sigmar, that area just almost directly south of you is like fairly thicket of brambles, those kind of things. It looks pretty hard to get through, but would be a good place to hide in. The trees are fairly big. They're deciduous trees. Pretty mature, but it's a fairly open forest. The ground is covered in fairly low ground cover. It looks like there's obviously a lot of deer or something in here. It's fairly low. It's fairly easy to walk through, and there are the odd small thicket of bushes and stuff dotted around as well.
I'll creep slowly and as quietly as possible towards it, something like that.
Yeah, so you can see some other trees around. You can kind of see up. You haven't seen where the dog's gone.
Yeah, I'm sort of heading in his direction still because I don't want to lose him. So I'll be heading off in his direction to try and lure him back, John.
Okay, move yourself. You can see where you can see at the moment.
I'm gonna circuit this suspicious-looking bramble thicket clockwise, John.
Okay. So move yourselves wherever you want to go. Still haven't seen your dog.
Yep, I'm working on it. I'll call him reasonably quietly, so I won't be shouting at the top of my voice, but Huan, come back.
Yeah, he's still on the scent, just heading slightly that way, just ahead of the tree. So make another check.
Another disappointing animal handling fault. No, 2.
Benton!
Exactly. No! I think it's a comedy sketch.
Okay, he really ran fast that time.
Oh.
Give me a perception check to see if you can kind of see what happened or where he went.
Oops, I should do it in the tower, but never mind. It's equally appalling, John. That was a 4.
We can see him, John. Just so you know.
You can see.
We can see his token. Or I can.
Yes. Oh, he's cloaked now. I'll head in that direction.
Well, that kind of gave the game away. I thought you couldn't see things on the masked area, but clearly you can.
Yeah, we can see the skeletons and ghouls as well.
What's a bullrog?
Oh, don't worry about them. I'm not quite sure of the rhythm to keep moving in.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you all to kind of move. Sorry, I need to clear a bit more of this for you.
Where's that pesky dog gone?
John, have I heard anything suspicious in this thicket, or was it just a thicket?
Give me a perception check to see if you notice anything. No, it seems like it's exactly the kind of noise you'd expect if there was a human walking around the thicket looking into it, i.e. really quiet, and anything that would have been in there is really quiet. Whoa, it's disappeared. Happens is in the dark.
Quite sure what that means, but...
As in you went into a grey area that hadn't been
Oh, okay. It's a theological grey area.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. So just wait until I...
Okay, yep.
Could be a cliff, guys. You don't want to go rushing over.
I found another bramble bush, though. You can come and explore this one if you want.
Okay, Hathis, you can hear in that kind of area some kind of rooting around under like a series of bushes and stuff. Are you going into the bushes there, Sigma?
Well, it looks like there's a little sort of... It's like keep dragging the map around while we're... Looks like there's a little sort of... I don't know, something.
Okay, so you're going to just explore that a bit.
Peer into it.
I'll head towards the rootling that I can hear.
Yeah, it's just bushes, unfortunately. As you climb up there, you see Yuan again.
Come here, boy. Come here.
Oh, I can make him hostile. He's suddenly gone all hostile.
What?
No, he hasn't really. Okay, so give me an animal handling because you're close now. No, just give me a standard one. At some point, you're not going to roll.
Yes, look at that. The dog whistle's back to front. Come here. I should grab him by his rope collar or whatever. I won't tell him off, but I'll be nice to him. Well done. That was good hunting. You found a bramble bush.
You two give me a perception check, Monin and Hathis. Yeah, you got him back. That's good.
I'll go and rejoin the others by preference.
I'll stick by you.
Good. Thank you very much. And I assume the dog's going to be too.
So Sigma, but behind that tree that you're just coming up to, you can see the rest coming back.
Okay, over there then.
Oh, what's this you've discovered?
The leaf.
So just ahead of you,
square thing.
A wooden structure of some sort. It's so looking at it. But actually, there's no trees in the way. You saw that a little bit before that. It looks about 20 foot high. It looks like a watchtower. It's fairly crudely made of old wood. It looks like it probably is, I don't know, 20, 30 years old. It's not been built by recent people here, but it does look like it's had some attempt to repair it fairly recently.
Can I have a good listen?
Okay, everyone who wants to listen, give me a perception check in the tower. Monin, you can hear faintly coming from roughly that kind of direction it sounds like chat, just rough voices in Westron talking.
Okay, he'll pass it on quietly, point in that direction, make the little universal chat noise with his hand.
Okay, what we're going to do, I'm going to lock the tokens. We're going to go into, so everyone roll initiative. We're going to go into initiative order. Okay, starting there. Amalfrida, you are really quick. That's some darn good initiatives there. So Amalfrida, you just hear Monin under his breath say, I can hear voices. You can take a double move if you want, or were you moving stealthily there, Amalfrida?
No, do you want me to make a stealth roll?
Yeah, so if basically you can move at half rate, but if that's a double move, that can still mean 30. But yeah, just give me a stealth check to see how stealthy you are. Yeah, not bad. You're fairly stealthy. Didn't really crack any obvious branches. Okay, next up, Hathis.
He'll do the same. He will try and quietly duck behind the watchtower, assuming there might be people over there. But he'll try and sneak his way across.
Yeah, so those bushes there, you have to push your way through those if you want. You can do that, but that will probably make quite a lot of noise.
No, that would be nonsensical. So he will change his plan. He will creep around the bushes to, it's going to be about there, I guess. Double move, but sneaky, stealthy.
Yeah, give me a stealth check. Okay, yeah, you're pretty quiet, and I would assume. Who want to move with you? Yeah,
that's the ideal. Yep.
Sigmar, you're up.
I guess I'm scouting for the back.
So you can see, Monin, you can see through and over those bushes that there is like an entrance into the watchtower in that corner.
Okay.
By entrance, it's not even a door. It's like a doorway that will goes into the inside. It's pretty crudely made, but that's where you'd go in. And let me just unhide a bit more. Okay. Where's Sigmar going?
I guess there to hide behind the tree trunk.
Give me a stealth check. I'm assuming you're moving stealthily.
Yeah, endeavouring to do so.
I think you can move quite fast stealthily, can't you?
Possibly. I don't know. I'm not sure how. Well, I can dash as a bonus action, but whether or not you can dash in stealth, I don't know.
Okay, that's fine at the moment. You seem to be pretty stealthy.
That strange thing to the southwest of Sigmar, can we see that? And what is it? Looks like that thing.
A tree that's been chopped down by those things.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
A tree stump. I quite like this mapping set. This is, I think it's called 2-minute tabletop, but basically all these are little assets you can make maps with, which is quite neat.
Oh, you made this map, did you, John?
Yeah, it's really easy to do. It took like 10 minutes. It's quite neat.
Wow, man, that's great. Stuart, you've got a challenger.
Oh, no way. Yeah, come on.
I know.
Yeah, that's really nice.
It's simple, which is kind of nice. Okay, so Juan's moved. I'll put Juan's initiative the same as yours. Monin, you are next up.
Okay, he's going to go stealthily, but not very far, and take it quite slowly, so even if he screws up, he's not going to make too much noise, and just get himself to here. So like a 10 foot.
Yeah, give me a stealth check. Good luck.
That's at disadvantage.
As you get to the bush there, this partridge just launches itself in a squawking flurry of feathers and flaps off, smashes into the tree branches to the northwest, makes a hell of a din, and then heads off towards the north. And it was probably a brace of them. And you get shocked and go, whoa, and sort of jump back a little bit. Not the stealthiest you've ever been, if I'm being honest, Moni. So, as you can see, yeah, so it was pretty noisy. Everyone give me a perception check.
But what made the noise was the bird, though, not me, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You were so stealthy, you crept right up on them. That's correct.
How's stealth supposed to work? If everybody has to make a stealth roll time to move, basically, the chance of any group of people getting anywhere without a lot of noise is very low.
So I'm doing it. It depends on if. It kind of depends. So there's a number of ways of doing this. I'm just doing this very tactically at the moment. You can do it as a party, and if over 50% make it, they're all stealthy. And so if I was doing longer movement, I'd probably do it that way. Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, if you were on your own, I would probably have you make one stealth check. And another GM I play a game with, he basically has one stealth roll, and that's valid unless you start moving towards hostile creatures, in which case you have to make another one. So if you keep moving away or side onto them, you don't need to make another stealth roll to kind of remain hidden. Well, I mean, how do you guys handle it? I mean, I'm open to others. I do take your point. I mean, it is it's a tricky one.
I play it that if dwarves have metal armor, they get advantage.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, that's very fair. Because the other thing I kind of like discussion on at some point, at the moment we've got a fumble system. I'm not sure if I've used it in this game, but basically you get a chance to fumble every dice roll, which means if you're a 20th level fighter with like 5 attacks around, you've got 5 times more chance of fumbling than you do as a first level wizard, so which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I was thinking about doing something that the chance reduces based on level or something at some point in the future, but okay, we'll take that offline okay, so you are as stealthy as you are at the moment. Monin and Amalfrida, can you just jump in the other audio channel in Discord? Yeah. So Monin and Amalfrida. Hey guys, so yeah, you hear talking from the direction you heard it before, and then both of you hear fairly distinctly, "What's that? Don't know. Where'd it come from? Was it the tower?" And so it looks like something's been alerted. Your noise you made moaning has alerted them.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yep, we'll hop back to the other one. Yeah. Hey guys.
How big's the bush? Can they see me on the other side of it?
Let me draw as accurate as possible what you can see. Hang on. So you can see a bit of an old campfire there past that tree. There's a big rock there that you can't see behind. The noise you heard was coming from that kind of direction. Haven't seen it yet. The bush in front of you is around maybe waist high, slightly higher than waist high for a dwarf, maybe almost chest high. So you'd need to drop prone to be invisible behind it.
Okay.
So you heard this as well, Amalfrida, despite the distance you can't see much because the tower's in the way, unfortunately.
Does it look like Brother Hathis has heard anything? Is he where's he heading? Is he continuing to wrestle with his dog, or is he moving towards the tower?
It looks like he hasn't heard anything.
All right, I'll try and get his attention, point at the tower, and put my finger to my lips, and then I'll circle that I'm going round, and I then want to head this way quietly.
Okay.
Let me give you another stealth roll in the tower.
Okay, so yeah, Hathis, she's pretty quiet. You kind of see Sigmar standing by the tree trunk there. He didn't hear you come up by the looks of things. Let me share what you guys can see. You can see a little bit more. Okay, Hathis, you're up.
Hathis will change direction then, and will try and tiptoe to the cover of the tree as slowly and quietly, pretty much as he can.
Give me a stealth, yeah.
Yeah, done it.
Yeah, you're really quiet.
And hopefully, Hwan's waddling along with Huan.
Yeah. So Huan heckles rise on the back of his neck, and he has a very low kind of growl in his throat.
Yep. Can I see where he's looking, or which is he looking at the tower, or is he looking to the south, or
he's looking that way?
Oh, I'll try and quieten and calm him.
Sigmar, give me a perception check. Okay.
So I can't see anything or hear anything. Nothing's changed as far as I'm concerned. Is that right?
No. Yeah, you can't see. So you're looking. I mean, you don't need to move. You're looking intently that kind of direction at the moment. Didn't see anything. That seemed to be where Huan and everyone else seems to be looking, but you just haven't heard or seen anything. Amalfrida, Monin, the conversation stopped that you heard.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm sure it's quiet, I'm going to creep to there. With my bow ready.
Okay. Give me a stealth check, and that's quite low, so you'd need to kind of drop fairly prone when you're there if you want to be well hidden, unless you just want to stand up above the bushes.
Fairly prone.
Okay. Yeah, you're really stealthy. You kind of crouch down, run quietly past the tree trunk, and you get to the bushes, and you're kind of just peering through the underbrush. I'll give you a bit more view. There's another tree down there. There's another bush that way. There's another tree there. Okay. Anything else? You got your bow out. You said, yeah.
As I move, I guess I hold my action to anybody that I don't like the look of emerges in an aggressive manner. I'll shoot.
Okay. That's Monin then.
Oh, sorry.
Monin, you are now up.
He's going to go into the tower, the watchtower.
Are you crawling? Dwarven commando crawl into the watchtower.
They're just going to walk in.
Okay.
Try and stealth, but if he can do it, he'll do it.
Yeah, give me a stealth check just in case. Just in case he makes it. That is two ones in a row now. That's okay. As you go across that open
distraction work, by the way.
As you go across the open ground there, Mona, you can see up to this far out. And there is two things you can see there. There and there are two
outlaws,
ill-favoured looking ruffians looking like they're looking towards the tower. See if this guy spots you. He can't really miss you with that. Yeah. The one here points and says, "Oi! Someone in the tower! Be careful!" And then he makes a dash for down towards the south. You lose sight of him, Monin, as he kind of ran into the cover. But he's definitely, the game is afoot. Amalfrida, you heard that. You can see up that bush now there is a person, outlaw Porfiding Sash, who was kind of stealthing up towards the tower and is still looking towards the tower.
I can see him. Do I think he's seen me?
No, you're pretty confident he's seen or heard Monin, though, looking at where he's looking.
Okay. I want to backtrack, go around the bush and get to there.
Okay.
And I'm still going to try and move quietly if I can. Just a minute.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
stealth.
It's pretty dark and secluded under the trees. So that's definitely going to give you an advantage. But as you come out from under the tree, you tread on a really loud dry branch, and it makes a big crack just as you come out from underneath it. And you hear another voice muffled from your west. Athos. Oh, sorry. Do you want to ready an action or anything small?
No, I'll just ready my weapon.
Okay.
So.
Hathis. I think Hathis might press himself to the trunk of the tree that he's standing under and try and look very small, try to hide there rather than anything else, rather than move, which isn't his strong suit.
If you're not moving, you don't need to make another hide check.
Okay, yep.
Who are neither. Okay. Any other actions?
I guess he will ready an action that if a bow fight actually starts, he will join in, but he's not going to shoot the first person that moves or initiate combat. But if it all kicks off, then he will pitch in. But that's not his plan to start anything.
All right, sounds good. So you can see, I guess, Monin, you're kind of peering with your head around the corner. Porfiding Sash runs up to behind a rock and kind of looks like he just ducks down out of sight from where you are. Sigmar.
Well, if nobody's looked at me, I'm assuming that nobody's seen me, so I'm going to stay where I am and snipe any aggressors.
Okay, so just apply the ready check. So basically, you've got the bow ready. That means. So what is the triggering event? So if someone attacks you, you're going to snipe them. Yeah, if you can see.
Attacks us. Any of us.
Any of you. Okay, that's clear. No problem. From behind a tree, Monin, you can see in Sigmar this guy. He's kind of creeping forwards, fairly stealthily, but right in the open. He's quite quiet, but he looks like he's stealthing towards the tower, and he ends up fairly well in the open. He's got a short bow. He's got an arrow. It's not drawn to his cheek or anything, but he's got it knocked, carrying it kind of around it at his waist, and he's looking to where Monin went into the tower, around that kind of corner. Next, somebody else creeps around the tree, and he disappears in view again behind the boulders up there. In fact, actually, you can see maybe a little bit of that. Yeah, you can kind of see him. He's obviously trying to hide from what he assumes is a person in the tower, but you can see him trying to hide behind that boulder. Monin.
So what does the watchtower look like? Is it a solid structure? You can't see through it, so you couldn't see Amalfrida on one side?
No, so it's basically in the corners are what look like basically barely finished tree trunks holding it up. It's fairly crudely made, vertical slatted walls, and there is a ladder. So there's nothing in here. It's a dirt floor. You can sort of see droppings and stuff lying around on it. It's pretty dim, but there is light coming through the cracks. And there is a ladder up, obviously, to the watchtower base itself, climbing about 10, 15 feet right in front of you. That's what that little symbol is.
Yeah, can I scramble up that as fast as possible?
Yeah, so give me... no, you can just move straight up there. So move yourself up onto the tower wherever you want to go, if that's okay. So when you come up onto the watchtower itself, there is balustrade, fairly well defensible. It looks like it is designed to protect versus missile fire. It's about chest high, but that's it. There's no roof on it. It's just an open. It's a watchtower you suspect for watching, and you can see if you look towards the south and southeast, the forest drops away there and gives a quite good vantage over it. So you suspect that's what it would originally use for.
Is there any lock on the door? The trap door?
There is no door. There's no trap door. It just literally just climbs straight up.
Okay, he'll just get his bow out and just look down there and he's got time to shout something.
Yeah, if you want. And so let me. You can see down over the top of this rock now. So let me unhide a little bit more of that as well. So only you can see that other one hiding. Poor fitting sash. The other guys can't. But actually, you can see a lot more than that. Oh, look at this viewpoint you have now. Oh, okay, that's enough unhiding of stuff.
Yeah, so just shout out. What do the three of you want? Who sent you?
Nice. Okay. So you can just see looking at the top, all three of the ones that you can see visibly right now look up in your direction and kind of look at each other, and you see another one of these people jogging up from behind a tree at the far side, and he kind of standing behind a bush, looking like he's pretty nervous, getting ready to get in there, and said, "Who are you? What you want?"
Did the Hobbit send you?
Love
it. What do you mean the Hobbit sent us?
I'll not go back. You'll not take me alive. I'll not go back there.
Paranoid about hobbits.
What are you doing in our watchtower?
That's my watchtower now.
Love it.
And you can hear them. There's a couple of them. You can hear them like to the northwest. They're kind of swearing at each other. It's a fucking dwarf. No, it isn't. No fucking dwarves in the forest. They hate woods. Sure, it's not an elf. He's got like an elvish accent. Obviously, you've never heard an elf or a dwarf before. Okay, so we'll just leave it there at the moment.
Yeah, that's where we're going to leave this episode. We'll deal with the rest of the interactions with the vagabonds / bandits next time. Thanks very much for watching, listening, subscribing, all that kind of stuff. If you look in the description, you can see our media types, how to get in contact with us. Other than that, thanks very much. Catch you next time. Cheers.